I'm Nic Fink, and this is Social Kick.
What's up, man? What you up to?
Just getting settled, you know. Lots of travel the past couple of days, or I guess a couple of week or so. So happy to be in one spot for a few days.
How's the body feeling? You feel adjusted from the time zone?
Yeah, it's like you fly to Berlin, but you're only there for like 5 days, 6 days. So like you try to adjust, but you know you're not. I don't think you're quite fully there even when you leave. So it's much easier, I think, coming back when you don't even spend that much time over there.
Yeah. How do you feel about your swims there?
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. You know, you never really know what to expect, especially like my first race since Worlds, and you know, just been a few months, so you never really know kind of what you're gonna get. So I was happy to walk away with 3 wins for sure, and you know, the times will get faster as I go. That's usually how it works. So I'm looking forward to getting a little better as this cluster progresses.
How did you approach this World Cup season? Were you looking at it kind of like an ISL season where you're going to peak for it, or you know, you coming here to rack up the wins and get some cash?
Yeah, I mean, a little bit of both. It's like, you know, I don't think my coach and I were planning on, you know, getting the full rest, full shave or anything like this, but we knew, you know, I definitely knew that money was on the line. So that's why I like wanted to kind of get back into shape pretty quickly after Worlds, just because, you know, I knew I could be ready for this while, you know, maybe some of the Europeans were taking breaks, some of the other people were taking breaks. So, you know, with a good amount of money on the line, I knew I could be pretty good here. But yeah, I wasn't doing the full shave, full rest, and that's why I think, you know, as we kind of go through these meets and you just like travel and race, I'll just be better and kind of like get that extra travel rest and stuff like that. So.
Yeah. Are you going to Worlds?
Yeah.
So how do you think this prepares you for Worlds? Do you do much short course meters training at home?
No, we did have at Tech, we did have a meet against Georgia that both coaches agreed to be short course meters, which is interesting because no coaches or meets really happen that way. But so for a few practices that week leading up to it, we had short course meters, and that was about it. So that's why I think like getting the experience here, doing all this stuff is pretty big for short course Worlds. Is that, you know, we had ISL in previous years to kind of gear up for any short course meets, but with that not happening this year, that you know, these are, even with prelim swims, that's 18 races and stuff before short course Worlds, when it would have been 0 if I hadn't come. So yeah, it's a good way to prep, get used to the pool.
Do you feel like this is FINA's opportunity to compete with and or replace ISL?
Well, I kind of see it as the opposite. It's like ISL was always trying to replace FINA, because FINA, I think, is more likely here to stay. So we'll see if ISL ever makes a comeback. But I know people enjoyed that, and you know, people enjoy this too. So everyone has their personal preference, and you know, I think as long as there's racing and money on the line, people will show up to pretty much anything.
Yeah. What's the process like being a pro athlete coming to one of these things? It seems like, you know, all the athletes posting on social, sharing dinners, and you know, to and from the pool at sometimes together. What's life like? What does FINA do for athletes, or who coordinates that? What's the experience like?
Yeah, it's really kind of cool, because it does remind me a lot of ISL, because you're doing a lot of racing in a little bit of time, and you're not necessarily with just your, you know, Team USA teammates. So like at like the Worlds, or I guess maybe not the games, but usually you'd sit with your teammates, or you know, at most meets you just go back to your hotel where only the US is there, right? Or maybe some other countries there, and you're only in your meal room with them. But here you get to eat, you know, in the meal room with a bunch of other countries, a bunch of other teammates, or people who are on ISL teams and stuff like that. So it's definitely more fun and more, you know, you get more diverse of who you can sit with and who to catch up with after not seeing people for a while. So FINA does a good job of like kind of bringing everyone together for the experience. I think they like to set a bunch of us up with local clinics, local appearances. Like I think a few people went curling yesterday, and in let's see.
Have you ever done curling?
I didn't go, but I have not done it either. It looks fun. It looked like it was a lot of fun, but I actually think I have a lot of homework this week, so I've been kind of grinding in the hotel. But next week, I think we're supposed to go to like the Motor Speedway and do an appearance there in Indy, and then I think maybe something with basketball. There was a basketball trip or EuroLeague in Berlin that they did, so something like that. So they do a good job of like making it experience for the athletes, which I think is really cool. And yeah, I love the fact that you can kind of mingle with not only your USA teammates but everybody. So.
Yeah. Any noteworthy swimmers that you've met so far here or even in Berlin that you hadn't met before?
No, I mean, there's people that you like talk to more. So, like I've had a couple meals with Chad the Clo. Like I've known him, I've seen him. We kind of have the acquaintance vibe, but haven't really sat down and like had a conversation with him. So like that was pretty cool. And then Luis Hansen, Kyle Chalmers. Like these are people who you just kind of like wave just because you've seen their face and they've seen yours around. And but once you're actually like doing a clinic with them, you're like, okay, well, now we should probably get to know each other so that we're on the same page about everything. And but then you like again see each other on deck and you see each other in the meal room and you're like, oh, like hey, what's up? So it's pretty cool to like kind of especially with people you're not used to racing. Obviously, I never do those races, so I just see them. I don't really get to talk to them, and you get to talk to people here, so that's nice.
Yeah. Is there anybody that you're excited to watch swim this weekend? Any particular events? And do you think we're going to see any world records?
Oh, probably, right? There's always some people who can throw down. Yeah, I mean, it's cool because you got to see a lot of good racing out in Berlin, but then some people stayed back, and you get a lot of fresh faces here, so you never really know what to expect when it comes to racing and who's going to show up. So I'm excited to see like all the Team USA people who came. So like Justin Coleman, Katie Ledecky, kind of that group of people who actually excel short course. So it'll be fun to watch them in the setting too.
Yeah, right on. Cool. Thanks, man.